Island Road, State of Rhode Island Coastal Resources Management Council's Rights of Way Subcommittee to order. Let the record reflect the subcommittee members that are present here this evening. Our agenda begins with approval of the minutes from May 12, 2026. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes, please. Motion's been made. I will second it. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? The motion carries. Our matter on the consideration this evening is Buttonwoods Avenue Buttonwoods Avenue Warwick right of way. Consideration of legal review and action. Attorney Hartman is here for the subcommittee. I'm going to turn it over to him at this point.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, as previously discussed, the purpose of tonight's meeting is to determine what was filed by the relative parties in the matter and its impact on the legal report that was submitted earlier this year. I've reviewed both of the parties' responses to my legal report, and after having reviewed them, I've determined that they don't have an effect on that report, and I still stand by that recommendation, and I would recommend that the subcommittee move this to full hearing in Warwick.
Mr. Chairman, have you heard on that? So
Sure.
you're saying a public hearing, which is the phase 2 component of this? Yeah.
That's correct.
So your report makes some significant findings. One, that neither the state nor the city has taken any official action to accept it. Right?
That's correct.
And more importantly, your report says there is no evidence in the record of public use.
That's correct.
Okay. The citizen guide says, before you move on to phase 2, public hearing, there needs to be adequate evidence in the record. If there's no evidence in the record that there is public use, therefore there's no adequate use. So just by the mere terms of the citizen's guide, you shouldn't be proceeding to phase 2, public hearing, because no adequate evidence to warrant that.
Here's the thing,
Yes.
Attorney DeVidio. The way to find evidence of that is to put it before the public at a public hearing. And that's what we're going to do here if the subcommittee decides to do it.
I wanted to just be able to preserve that for the record, because I know in the Satar case, the Supreme Court case, that before it went to a public hearing, there was evidence found by the subcommittee, because that's what phase 1 is, an evidentiary gathering process. The citizen's guide doesn't say you don't go. It's written in the citizen's guide unless you have adequate evidence. So you shouldn't be using the public hearing to develop the record that should have been developed down here, the subcommittee. But may I approach?
Yes.
I want to give you copies of, just at least for, if nothing else, to preserve the record. Okay, that's just my statement generally, and then as a legal memorandum, I don't introduce any new facts or evidence. I'm just providing a legal argument. I think, Steve Ron. I didn't submit it in advance because I know that we're not supposed to be filing additional things, but that was basically my opening statement as to why I think it's improper to proceed to phase 2.
Understood. And I'll address that. So here's the thing with the citizen's guide. It's exactly what it says it is. It's a guide. It's guidance. It's not binding by the force of law. And there's no evidence in the record as stands. There are assertions that there is evidence of public use. And based on those assertions, I think we can go ahead, and I'm going to recommend that this go to public hearing in Warwick. Now, because Attorney DeVidio had the opportunity to address the subcommittee, Mr. Langseth, would you like to make any further comments? I think it'd only be fair if one party is going to get hurt.
Richard Langseth, pro se. There is a lot of evidence in the record of public use. A lot of what I've said is public use. And we've had a discussion before about the fact when we have the public hearing, I can stand as a public user and discuss some of the public use that is already in the record, which I don't want to take the whole public hearing doing this, but you know, I need to have my position known too. There's discussion of Mark McKinney presenting an affidavit in Superior Court in the record that shows public use. He, of course, he's a senator in Rhode Island. He's a lawyer. He's now retired, but he's a credible person. And he went to the Superior Court and he told the Superior Court, I grew up in Old Buttonwoods and I saw many public people, many users of the public using it, including the patrons of the nursing home who went back and forth with their guests and, you know, parents and all this. So there is plenty of use in the record, plenty of documentation in the record of public use, but I just want to move this thing forward to the hearing. And then if we have any controversy about this later, you know, maybe we can have a discussion about that. But I'm ready to go, and we just need a public hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Langsdorff. Thank you, Attorney DeVideo. I think, Mr. Chair, I think everything's in order for a motion if that's what the subcommittee decides what they want to do.
Based on your recommendation, I'd entertain a motion to submit it to hearings.
I'll make the motion that we move the item to the public hearing. Warwick.
All right, I will second that. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Anything else that comes before us on the rights of way subcommittee?
No, Mr.
Is
Chair.
there any comment about when the public hearing might be, or?
We'll be working on
Check availability. And
availability.
we're gonna do it.
It's complicated. I mean, a lot of people have vacations, and yet there are a lot of people in my neighborhood who are only in my neighborhood in the summer. So, you know, we gotta work things out here.
Understood, Mr. Langsdorff. As you know, we're hard charging on the Weekapaug
Right.
Spring Avenue extension. We've gone through several hearings. I think that's going to take priority here. And we will get to Buttonwoods in Warwick at some point, but we'll work on dates with the subcommittee to get that done as expeditiously as possible.
I might recommend September is the time.
Mr. Langsdorff, we'll discuss, but I think it's going to really hinge on what's going on with the Spring Avenue extension.
Well, the only problem I'm having with that is that I believe when we had this discussion before, I was standing behind the Spring Avenue because I thought the Spring Avenue would enlighten me. And now I'm discovering that I'm enlightening the Spring Avenue. So the Spring Avenue could go on for a year. I mean, the way it's coming down. And I think the committee might want to hear some of what I have to say that might move the Spring Avenue along. So I wouldn't want it to be 6 months from now or something.
I think we can find some dates that let them run concurrent. Yeah,
Okay.
and that would be my goal, at least to get this one started. And we'll take it from there.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. We adjourned, right? We did, I think we did, because it was right.
We'll take it.
Yeah. On a motion made and seconded to adjourn, all in favor, say aye. I think we did, but you just need to sign this. I need